We're here at the Nike booth, familiar face of Nate Radcliffe, and we're talking all about vapor. I want you to give us kind of an overview of the line, the inspiration behind it, and then we'll go through the specific parts.
Yeah, the Vapor line is all across the irons woods this year for Nike. And so we started with the iron launch back in the fall and launching Modern Muscle throughout the three different iron series. And then now here at the show, we're debuting the Vapor Pro, the Vapor Speed, and the Vapor Flex drivers. And obviously you got a chance to see Rory play it at the Ryder Cup in the Vapor Pro. So exciting launch this year for Nike.
Tell us a little bit about the Metalwood line as a whole and what the differences are between the different lines.
Sure, yeah, I'll start here with the Vapor Speed. So this is a 460cc larger profile, the most stable, and we'll look a little bit at the technology here. So we've got the familiar covert cavity back technology, but this year we've braced it with these two fly beams here, and what these are doing is stiffening up that cavity, which is channeling all of the flexing and the energy return into the channel and back into the face. So this is the largest profile, the most forgiving. Comes with a Fubuki Z, 50 gram standard, but there's a lot of different custom shafts. The next is the Pro, and the Pro is what you're seeing Rory and a lot of our athletes playing out on tour. This is a more traditional pear shape, still 460cc, very stable, very forgiving. And then again, you're seeing all the sole technology that's built into it that really differentiates it from Covert 2.0 Tour. The last of the three is kind of our premium expression of technology. This is Vapor Flex. And Vapor Flex utilizes a reinforced resin material in the back cavity. So this makes it significantly lighter, and then we can redistribute that weight here into the Flex Flight pod, and we can change the weight forward and rearward to change trajectory. So very similar in the design throughout the three, all have fly beams and a newly updated compression channel driving the speed off the face.
Now, from drivers, you switch to an iron line that's pretty complete. Tell us about the three different irons in the line.
Yes, if you take a look at this, everything's built off of the Vapor Pro chassis. It just gets larger and we build more technology into it. But this was from an insight from Tiger. Over the years, we'd started to add tungsten into the toe of his irons, really just to balance them out. And so you can see what we've done is we've built a new muscle profile that really balances the club so that the center of gravity is in the center of the face. A lot of the weight's usually trapped here in the hosel, and that's why you'd get a heel-biased CG. And why for amateurs toe hits would go right because the blade's opening up. So we're really balancing it out, and then as we go through the line, if I pull a Pro Combo here, you can see the resin insert built into it. So we're building in more forgiveness, more distance technology. And this is the chassis that Rory used, the 2-iron that he played, the Proto, that really launched the line when he won the Open Championship in 2014. And then if we were to find a speed iron here in the mix, you can see really our distance technology built into it. You've got a hollow chassis, fly beams, very thin wall, it's a high strength face material, variable face thickness. So basically progressing in technology from the same Tiger inspired blade profile all the way up to a product that our tour athletes are playing in long irons or that the average guy can really play successfully with at their course.
Now, lastly, you do have a wedge line that got a lot of buzz recently as Rory put it in the bag.
Yeah. The new Engage wedges, so got to spend some time with Rory 2 weeks ago in Dubai and watched him work with them. I'll pull out one here that's the square sole. And so this square sole 54 basically is what you'd see Rory and a lot of the athletes using, especially in their stronger lofted wedges. So a pretty clean, simple, basic square sole. The big thing that you're seeing with this, similar to what we talked about in the irons where we have a lot of weight trapped in the hosel, we've redistributed mass toward the toe to really balance out the wedge, and that came from athlete insights. We know that athletes, if anything, have impact patterns toward the toe on their wedges, and so in making this a more centered and balanced club, it makes it that much more consistent. It goes through the rough a lot easier, and it's just overall more balanced in design.
With the redistribution of the weight, will the average amateur see the forgiveness coming off the outside of the club head as they're playing bunker shots and things like that?
So, one thing we know about amateurs and tour players alike is a lot of times with impacts out here toward the toe, when you play this type of wedge, especially in a pitching wedge or a gap wedge versus a set wedge, a lot of the misses out here on the toe will fall short and right. So in rebalancing this, it's making those shots that much more consistent. And Rory put it in the bag really because he felt like it was just almost effortless around the green, much more stable through the rough as well.
That wraps up the Vapor line. You'll be able to find out more throughout the THP website. For THP TV, I'm Josh Babbitt.